So before I start this movie review, I just want to give a big shout out to IMDb, where I get all my information and fun facts from. So let me ask you guys one question. Who are you going to call? What's up, everyone? I'm your host with the most, Movie Manny Nick. And finally, after 2 years of waiting for this film, I saw Ghostbusters Afterlife. It starred McKenna Grace, Finn Wolfhard, Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Celeste O'Connor, and Logan Kim. And the director was Jason Reitman. The producer was Ivan Reitman, who was the director of the first two original films of Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. And the executive producer was Dan Aykroyd. So this movie is basically about when a single mom and her two kids arrive in a small town, they begin to discover the connection to the original Ghostbusters and the secret legacy their grandfather left behind. Okay, everyone. So I finally went to go see the movie, and before I give my own opinion, I just want to say rest in peace to Harold Ramis, who played Egon Spengler in the Ghostbusters franchise. He was phenomenal for what he did with his quick-wittedness, his comedy, his directing, his producing, everything. And actually, some people didn't know, was his actual birthday yesterday. So he would have been 77 years old. Okay, so here's my opinion or review for Ghostbusters Afterlife. It was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. I really liked it. I give it 2 thumbs up. If you are a fan of the original Ghostbusters, even the second film, I recommend to see this. Because yes, this is more of a fan service film. There's a lot of it in here, but really I don't mind it. It actually brings back a lot of memories from mine and your childhood. It really does. But a lot of people don't like it, but that's their own opinion. And I respect that. I do like some scenes where you do see some stuff in the background or this and that. And it's like, oh, I remember from that film. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. But it was a very good film. I think Jason Reitman, who is the son of Ivan Reitman, who directed and produced the first and second Ghostbusters films, did an outstanding job. I think the cinematography was good. The score, the music was excellent. I think some of the other actors in this film were good. I think the kid that played Podcast was good. He was basically like the Ray version with his little bit of comic relief here and there. I would say Trevor was more of like the Peter Venkman version. He was more like the serious type. And Celeste O'Connor's character, she was more like the Winston. But McKenna Grace as Phoebe, as the granddaughter of Egon Spengler, was fantastic. She did an amazing job, down to a T, that you would see Harold Ramis would do in the first and second films. His dry sense of humor. I mean, very dry sense of humor. Serious, very smart with the science and everything. Fantastic. She did a great job. Look out for her. She's the next up-and-coming actress. I think the plot storyline was good. I think it was very good how they did this. And just to see the references from the first movie into this, it brings back a lot. And that's basically what this is. Actually, to tell you the truth, you really do not need to see the second movie. All you have to see is the first movie and watch this film. I mean, you should watch both, but if you watch the first one and this film, you won't get lost. It makes perfect sense. But I like seeing, the Ecto-1, the Ghost Trap, the new Ghost Trap, the RTV. That was pretty good. But everything, like the pole from the firehouse. There's a lot of, I really don't want to go into it. The proton pack. The PKE meter. Everything. There's a lot, and I mean a lot of references in this film. A lot from the first one. So just be aware of that. A lot of stuff will make sense if you've seen the first film. Also, there is a there's two end credit scenes in this film. The mid-credit scene, I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty good. But stay tuned for the last one. It was excellent. I thought it was very good. But this film is more of a family, and it is a kind of a tearjerker. You will probably tear up and cry. I admit, I did. Especially near the end. That's all I'm going to say. No spoilers. But basically, this was really a tribute film to Harold Ramis. That was Egon Spengler. It really was. And it was very emotional. It was very touching that they went in that direction. And I'm glad they did. And I'm glad they actually made this film, because now it's a trilogy, which is fantastic. Because for years and years, everybody thought, is there going to be a third film? And with the production and stuff and some of the actors, Bill Murray. But I understand his point. It has to be a good scene, good movie, good script. But I understand. But thank God they did this. I'm really grateful that they did this film. I give a lot of credit to Jason Reitman, Ivan Reitman, and Dan Aykroyd, especially Dan Aykroyd, who wanted to put this in production for many, many years. And I'm glad they did this. Oh, but on an end note, the special effects, I can't forget that. I mean, there was some CGI in it, of course, but the special effects were fantastic. And actually, they did go with the practical effects, which they did the puppets. And the terror dogs were the puppets for the most part. So that was great, seeing that again. And of course, how can you forget the mini Stay Puffs? Hysterical. That was so funny what they did. And also, if I'm not mistaken, what I thought as a Back to the Future fan, I think there was a little nod and a reference to Back to the Future in this film. If you've seen this movie and you know the scene, let me know in the comments below, because I know what it is. And if you've seen it, you'll probably know what it is. Or maybe you didn't see it. I'll let you, I'll say it has to do something with a mini building. That's all I'm going to say. On an end note, do I recommend to see this film? Yes. Especially in movie theaters, if you can. If you are a fan or like the first movie, I highly, highly recommend to see this film. If you've seen the first and second one, yeah, I mean, you know. And if nobody really knew, Jason Reitman, who's the son of Ivan Reitman, did make a little cameo in the second movie. At the birthday party, when the kid says, you know what my father says about you? Or it's something like that. My father says, you're full of crap. Some way or another. If nobody knew. Fun fact. And he was, I think, 13 or 14, 12, somewhere around that age range at the time. And, I mean, if you don't want to see it just yet, then wait till it comes out in something else. I mean, but this is a must-see. Ghostbuster fans out there, this movie is a must-see. If you've seen the first one, you have to watch this movie. And now it's time for fun facts. This is Jason Reitman's first film of a franchise variety as a director. Also, according to Dan Aykroyd, this film will also rely on practical effects. The Ecto-1 gunner seat was actually used in the related cartoon series, which was The Real Ghostbusters, yet never used in either of the original films. This is the first Ghostbusters film to take place somewhere outside of New York City. And finally, Ernie Hudson is credited as Dr. Winston Zedmore, indicating that in the time between Ghostbusters 2 and the new film, Winston may have earned a PhD. And that's it, guys. That is my movie review for Ghostbusters Afterlife. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I especially did. As usual, smash that like button, support, share, hit that notification bell. It'll notify you my next vlog or video will be up. Also, check me out on Instagram under the same name, Movie Maniac Nick. And remember, stay safe, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.